What I've got is just half a cup of regular flour and half a cup of semolina flour. Now, this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's slightly more yellow than normal flour, and it's regularly used for making pasta. Quite honestly, this particular recipe that I'm doing actually said just to use regular flour, but I do like to use semolina flour. Alright, so now all I'm going to do is to literally just blend those together, just like that. And then I'm going to mix them up a bit. They're going to get mixed up anyway when we do the next bit. Now I prefer to make my pasta in a bowl with sides on it. I get into less trouble that way. The next thing we need is 1 beaten egg. I'm just going to pour that in. And quite honestly, you can actually beat the egg while it's in the bowl. And all you're going to do is just literally blend in the flour mixture with the egg. Now you're looking for a pretty solid dough. So we've got it like that. We're literally going to take a little bit of flour, just so it doesn't stick, like that. And we're going to finish just kneading it for a little while. For those of you who don't know about kneading, if you like, you just sort of bend it over itself like that, and then you push it down. Bend it over itself and push it down. And after you get a bit of use of doing this, you actually sort of like roll it onto itself. I'm sort of rolling it onto itself and then pushing it down. Which, when you've got a small little amount of dough like this, is actually more difficult. I didn't know that. I learned something today. I'm used to dealing with a lot more dough than this. Okay, so basically what we're going to do now is just let it rest. So we're going to form it into a ball like this. And I'm just going to coat it with a little bit of oil. Two things. Number one is I actually like a little bit of oil in my pasta, but secondly, it sort of stops it from drying out too much. I'm going to wrap it in a little bit of plastic wrap, like that. And what we're going to do is just let it rest for half an hour. Now, depending on what recipe you have, some say that it should rest in the fridge, and some say absolutely not. I'm just going to let mine rest right there. Just take our dough and just flatten it out a bit. Now, obviously, you can use a rolling pin to do this, but we're just going to flatten it out enough to get it into the pasta machine. I'm trying to get an angle whereby you can see everything at the same time. Now, we just get a very slightly rub some flour onto our pasta. And then what you do is you just stick it in this bit and you roll it. So it's a little thicker than perhaps I should have started with, but you get the idea. So out it comes. Now, for the first couple of things, what they recommend is that you sort of fold it. We're trying to get it to roughly the right size for the machine. So now we're going to put it through again. So I haven't moved the dial here, I just got it exactly the same. But there we go, that's the sort of shape we want. We're going to do it one more time. And there we have the basic shape. Got the idea? And now what we're going to do is we're going to set it up to number 2. We were on number 1 originally. And we're going to start rolling it some more. Now obviously, as we start doing this, we're going to need just a little bit more flour on it. But it's going to get thinner and thinner, that's the whole idea. So that's 2. And then we put it up one more. Warned you. Okay, so that was 3. And I found 4 works really well. So we're on number 4 now. And so that's how it ends up. Now we've got a choice of either making lasagna like this, or making fettuccine here, or spaghetti here. Now you probably can see that lasagna is quite easy. So let's show you what happens when you make fettuccine. So we're going to put it in here. Oh, one quick thing. Need to move the handle. There we go. The handle on the foot. Now you might wonder what's with the coat hanger. That is what's with the coat hanger. So there we have very nice looking fettuccine. Now if I just let it drop out of the machine, it would just make that bundle. Actually, let me show you how that looks Because that is quite cute when you see that. You've probably seen this in stores. There we go. So this is how you can buy it in the store sometime. It just is a clump of fettuccine like that. So you can just literally take it like that and freeze it like that if you want to. Or, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this out again so I can show you the spaghetti. And there we have it at 5. There we go, it did work. Alright, looking good. And now to make the spaghetti, you would just put it, put the handle over here, take the end, now what I'm going to do is just move this over here. Actually, that worked amazingly well. And there is the spaghetti. So, how easy was that? Good, huh? So simple. Now what I will do tomorrow is I will show you how to make different things with it. But this is just the very basic recipe. This is how much pasta it made. I've just taken it off the coat hanger because it's got its own shape now before it dries too much.